Today's Weekday Outlook is doubling as a severe weather update because we have quite the storm that will move into our area on Monday, tomorrow, and I wanted to be sure to bring you that information, and I didn't want to have to release two videos and, put more out there than you need to be reading and watching and putting up with. I did this whole update without any mention of our sponsor, KTX Transport, and DJ wanted me to mention the Hatchie 50 Marathon benefiting Waxahachie Lions Club and Ellis County Children's Charities that KTX Transport will be sponsoring. So he wanted me to highlight this event. Looks like that's going to take place on Friday, April 22nd through April 23rd this year. And here's the information. I'm just going to go ahead and put the website up here, and we'll promote this a little bit. And, this is a charity event, which is always something Ellis County does very, very well. So here's all of the costs there to sign up. And the description here and all of the things that you'll need to know. Of course, that's 400 South Grand Avenue. That's Getzendaner Park, so that's where that's going to take place. So if you want to go to hatchie50.com is the website to get more information on that. And that's what DJ wanted to promote for the his sponsorship of this segment today. Great event and a good thing to go check out on the 22nd and 23rd of April. You can see the picture here of I believe, a past event. Always a good time. I probably won't be running, but I'll probably find a way to support this event one way or the other. And, go out and get a good workout, get a good run in for the Lions Club and some of the children's charities here in Ellis County. So let's just go ahead and we'll cover all of our bases in this one update and let you know what the week looks like, but also let you know what tomorrow looks like. If you look on the screen right now, nothing going on radar, just some ground clutter here and there, but severe clear has prevailed over the skies today. Maybe a patchy cloud or two if you look hard enough. Really nothing going on out there. This radar is going to look very, very different this time tomorrow. It's going to be, it's a day that I have been looking ahead to. I'm not sure I'm looking forward to it, but I'm definitely looking ahead to it and trying to make sure that I am prepared and that I'm on my A game for tomorrow, because it looks like it's just going to be a nasty, nasty situation this time during the day tomorrow. So again, not much going on right now. Let's take a look, though, at one of the models here. I just want to show, and as I've said many times, these models, not always going to be the most, accurate as far as what's going to happen. It's not like these are gospel, but they give a general idea of what the math is thinking, okay, and kind of what is expected to happen. So, of course, here's Ellis County with the little flag there, and this is, again, what this particular model is thinking. And there's two models that I usually follow when it comes to short range forecasts and high definition forecasts. The other one is the high resolution refresh. And I don't think that one is quite covering the full day yet. Haven't gotten the solutions out of that I need to really get a good picture of tomorrow. So that one I'll probably be able to watch more through the day tomorrow, maybe late tonight, early tomorrow, to get an idea of what it's thinking. But we can look at the NAM right now. And if we take a look at that, it's going to take a second to load here. Take a look at this model, and we'll spend a little bit of time on this just because it's a good visual aid. So this is in the morning. Okay, this is 4 a.m. We start to see the clouds filtering in as that Gulf moisture, rich Gulf moisture coming in from the Gulf there. That's 10 a.m. Now look at 3 o'clock here. Something I want to point out. Let's go back a few frames. That's 9 a.m. So we have scattered showers in the area, and then if we wants to load. That's the only thing, is sometimes these take a little bit to load, so it's hard to go. Now 2 o'clock, okay, 2 o'clock, you notice it starts to light up a little bit. So really what we're going to see is after about noon tomorrow, daytime heating starts to set in, and things are really going to start to bubble up and start to brighten up on the radar, of course, and not looking good for our area after noon. Everything before noon in the morning, really showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, maybe a clap of thunder here and there, not really looking like much. It's afternoon that things are going to start to get interesting. And what you can see is you see just blotches here and there. Now, this is not saying that there's going to be a storm exactly over, Northern Hill County. That's not saying this is exactly where they're going to be. This is an abstract view of this is kind of what we expect in this part of the country. And if we go ahead, 4 p.m., you're seeing individual storms, okay? And if we zoom in a little bit, you're seeing individual storms across the area. That's what has me mostly concerned about late afternoon, early evening tomorrow, is that we have these individualized storms. And when you have those individual storms, right, you have a bigger chance of those strong updrafts that will lead to a hail threat. Also, a higher chance of getting tornadoes in this area because those individual storms could, become supercellular and, bring in some inbound winds and outbound winds that begin to rotate, of course. So, it really depends on a couple of things. One, it doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of sun. And you can see here the NAM is thinking there's going to be a few breaks in the clouds. The more breaks we get, the more heat we get, the more unstable the atmosphere is going to be, the more likelihood we are going to have those severe supercell thunderstorms. But overall, it doesn't look like we're going to see a whole lot of sun. That could limit our severe weather threat. So if we keep going, here we have 7 p.m. and we see more individual storms, though you start to see kind of a little more linear kind of setup here. And it looks like we're going to have a classic situation where we have individual storms here, and then it starts to congeal into a line off to the east. And then, of course, you can see that it really comes together in a segmented line. Really possibly even a solid line here as it heads towards Tyler, Longview, that area. And then by 4 a.m. the next morning, early in the morning Tuesday, we may get some wraparound showers from all of this. But by 8 a.m. the following day, I do think that we could be looking at the possibility of getting clearer skies and really a beautiful day on Tuesday. It's going to be cooler too. We'll get into that in just a second. But again, I want to emphasize that as we go back, that's 8 a.m., let's go a few hours later. As we get into the afternoon hours on Monday, tomorrow, we do need to be watching this severe weather threat because it does look like it could very well be a dangerous situation. And I really do not want to see that come together the way that it very well could. I'm hoping we don't see a whole lot of sunshine tomorrow. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that there's a lot of storms, that we're pretty well saturated with thunderstorms. That way no one storm is able to kind of isolate itself and really become much more strong than the others. That could also limit our severe weather threat. So there's a few things that could keep things relatively tame, tamer than it could be. But, the NAM does paint a pretty bleak picture as far as allowing some of that heat to get through. And again, really lighting up the skies. And by 8 o'clock tomorrow night, really looking at some pretty intense thunderstorms moving through our area. So let's go over now to the overall view of what we're expecting. So here is this map. Of course, it's a small map. I may be able to actually bring that up. I think I'll bring that up on the other screen too momentarily here, because I think that's going to be the best way to kind of represent that to you. Because this map it's fairly small, but I think it's going to be better to. Oh, come on. I think it's going to be better to actually show what we're looking at. And there's a lot of debate on these maps and that kind of thing. So let's go back over to the radar here. And this is where we have the enhanced risk of severe weather, okay? Dallas, Fort Worth, Mansfield, pretty much from really Midlothian and Red Oak northward is in the slight risk, but I'm considering Ellis County as a whole to be included in the enhanced risk. Part of Ellis County is included, so I'm just going to, basically treat it as all of Ellis County is included in the enhanced risk of severe weather. Obviously, we're on the top edge of it, so we're not, right in the middle of it or anything, but really, to me, that doesn't really matter that much, because we will be looking at, a decent threat of severe weather. Really, the biggest threat tomorrow continues to be hail, and we are included in this black etched out area and this red. So this is really, we're kind of overlapped here, right? So we do have a pretty decent chance of getting some hail, possibly large hail in our area tomorrow. So that looks to be, as far as the different modes of severe weather, it looks like the hail risk is the highest risk for our area. Let's look at the damaging wind threat, and we could very well see some damaging winds in our area as well. As you see, this is kind of the primary concern area, and we are included in that as well. So damaging winds could be something. Now let's talk about the tornado threat. Let's use the T word here. What I want to show you is that, yes, when you look at stuff from storm chasers, okay, storm chasers want to be as optimistic as they can that they're going to get tornadoes. That's just how they are. So, let's not get too hung up on this, okay? So we are in this area. We are a little bit in kind of the main concern area for tornadoes, though that really is confined to our south. So really the biggest issue from Hillsborough southward down to San Antonio and Sugar Land there, really this is the area where tornadoes are most likely. I am not considering us to be under a high or even a moderate tornado risk tomorrow, just because the way that the graphics have been going, the way the forecasts have been going, that we are really not looking at a huge tornado threat. So that's why I don't want you to get hung up on these maps, because we're just not looking at that kind of a major situation. So let's go ahead and let's transition over to, of course, the graphics. And this is what we're looking at. So like I said, tornado threat is low. I'm not going to call it a low-end tornado threat necessarily, but overall, it is a low tornado threat. The conditions will be there. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we're included in a tornado watch tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we're on the top end of it. May go from Ellis and Johnson counties on south. But overall, tornado risk is pretty low considering relative to other things. Damaging wind threat, of course, is going to be moderate. I would say, we got a pretty good shot at getting some damaging winds. I may even upgrade that to a high chance for tomorrow, because damaging winds are not that hard to come by when you're looking at a severe weather situation. So, and tomorrow we've got a pretty good shot at getting a decent severe weather setup. So overall, I'm not really that feeling that coy on that at the moment. Hail I have as a high risk. That does appear to be our best chance, our most likely threat for tomorrow. It does look to be a hail threat. I do have a small threat for flooding, okay, and really that's for a couple of reasons. One, we could see, we'll see storms all through the day. So we'll get rain tomorrow morning that could, in the first half of the day, really saturate the ground, depending on how much rain we get, could saturate the ground, and then in the afternoon we'll get heavier rain, so we'll get faster rain rates, okay, higher rain rates, so it'll be tougher already for the ground to absorb so much rain very quickly. And we could already be looking at some rain earlier in the day. So I think we have a small flooding opportunity. I do think it's mostly going to be confined to urban flooding and flood-prone areas. So if you're in those flood-prone areas, I would really keep that in mind. If flooding is just something that you deal with on a regular basis, tomorrow is definitely a day that I would be looking at that. Keep that in mind, that kind of thing. But tomorrow does not look like a major severe weather outbreak for our area. I definitely think we're going to see much more action from, again, Hillsborough and Waco southward. I do think that that's going to be, at least where it stands at this point. This could very well change in the next 12 hours. But right now, I think that what we're looking at is primarily the worst tornado threat, the worst supercell threat, everything like that. And the models seem to be pointing to the Waco area and southward. So Waco down to Austin and San Antonio, over to College Station and Sugar Land, that area. So that's overall kind of what I'm thinking for the severe weather. Now let's get over to the weekday outlook and, make sure that we have covered that as well. And let me see. Let me go ahead and get over to that weekday outlook. There we go. So looks like we're looking at a potential for severe weather again tomorrow. 100% chance of rain. Okay, so 100%. I mean, we're gonna get at least some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. We're not going to be able to avoid that. So it will be 100% chance, 100% coverage, etc., etc. It's gonna happen. Okay, we're pretty solid on that. I do have severe up there. Looks like we do have a really good chance of seeing at least some severe weather tomorrow. Windy conditions will continue as well. That's going to bring in plenty of Gulf moisture for all of these storms to work with. Highs are going to be right around 70 degrees. It depends on how much rain-cooled air we have. We may not quite reach 70 degrees, or if we get some breaks in the wind and the clouds, we may get above 70 degrees. It really, really, really depends on some of that. So 70 degrees is probably midline. Okay. Overnight lows tomorrow night, 49 degrees. It's going to be a little cooler with that cold front coming in. Look at Tuesday. My gosh, 55 degrees, mid 50s for highs on Tuesday with partly cloudy skies. Windy conditions continue, but it's going to be a chilly wind as it comes through. Wednesday, looking at, I should say Tuesday night, low 40s. Wednesday's a little bit warmer with highs in the low 60s. Windy conditions continue, but lows are right around 40 degrees, right? So Wednesday and Thursday both highs are going to be in the low to mid 60s. We're looking at low 40s for lows. Friday and Saturday we start to warm up a little bit. Lows will be in the low to, or highs rather, low to mid 70s. Lows in the upper 40s. So that's kind of what we're looking at as far as our our potential for severe weather in our storms tomorrow. And I am looking for, a decent chance of severe weather tomorrow. I can pretty much promise you we're going to be under some sort of a watch. I don't know if that's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch. If I had to guess right now, looking at the way conditions are, I would say we'll probably be on the northern probably edge of a tornado watch. They may include Dallas and Fort Worth in that, but I would say we're going to be pretty far north in some sort of tornado watch tomorrow. I just wouldn't be surprised if that spans from like 1 to 2 o'clock to the evening hours. The good news is that tomorrow night we should be done by at least midnight, if not a little bit earlier. So this won't be an overnight event. It's going to be a daytime event, which is helpful with storm spotters and that sort of thing. But my concern is of course, the rush hour and the school release hours. Waxahachie ISD students will be out tomorrow, but other districts in North Texas or in Ellis County specifically will be in school. So just keep that in mind as we are looking at the rush hour and the school release times and coming home from work, all those kind of things. So keep that in mind for sure for tomorrow as we look at what could be our first, really big severe weather event of the year. And I guess it's fitting because spring officially started today. So it understood the assignment. Let's just say that. So I'll have more updates for you tomorrow on the severe weather threat coming our way.